Well, we'll see how she reacts to it. So we're going to do some stuff using tools. This technique that we're learning this weekend is using some different tools. This is a handheld, spring-loaded, so it just does a real quick impulse. And then we have a massage gun that we'll use to release some fascia. So we'll just kind of run it along her and see how she reacts to it. Just going to flip her mane so we can see if she has those twitches that we were talking about. So when I've never worked on a horse before, first off, I like if the handler holds them rather than tying them up and putting them on cross ties, because if they are going to get upset and try to get away, we don't want them to hurt themselves if they're tied. And then I like to just kind of click the tool a little bit while I'm here talking to the owner and standing with her, just kind of let her know that it's nothing to be afraid of. Normally we do start up at Atlas, so on this big wing of Atlas. Now if she's the kind of horse that she's really sore up in Atlas, or she just doesn't really like to have her ears touched, or she's uncomfortable with me being in this area, I might start on her back and then we'll work our way up there. But she seems okay so far, so we'll see how she does. So we're just going to put motion into that wing of Atlas. And she's like, ooh. Yeah. So that could be two things. That could be that she was really reactive there, or it could just be that I startled her because she wasn't expecting that. So that happens. But we'll work our way down her neck and we'll check that again to see if that was a true reaction or not. But normally, as you'll see with these spinal segments, is it'll be an involuntary twitch, which is pretty easy to visualize. So as we mentioned before, the cervicals, I know, she's like, what are you doing? The cervicals of the horse, we have C1, and then the rest of them are about fist size, and they're gonna run down in this area. So we're gonna go all the way to C7. And if you palpate, and most of you have probably felt this, you may not have, but if you run your hand down and you feel these bumps here, those are the transverse processes off of those vertebrae. They're really easy to palpate. Sometimes people will feel them and go, oh, they have a really tight knot there in their neck. But no, this is actually the bone. It's the transverse processes of the bone sticking out. You can do it like this along there. When I'm doing the back, I like to hold it like this, because especially since she's a taller horse, if I'm holding it like this in my hand, look at what it does to my wrist. Oh yeah. And it gets hard on your wrist. So if you hold the tool like this with two hands, it's easier on you, and it's just easier to reach. And she's got a bit of a scab there, and on the other side, so that's just from the straps rubbing on her. Okay. Now what she's doing there is she's trying to flip me off like I'm a fly. Yeah. And she actually didn't look too bad. So she had a couple spots that were sore on her back, but not too bad overall on the back. So far, the neck and the shoulder, directly under it and up this way, and on that side it's up that way. That's where that sacral tuberous ligament that we talked about inserts. And it can pull the pelvis off if one side's tighter than the other. It can just give it a little bit of a tilt. And if you put your hand up in here, you can feel it. So we're not going in her butt, we're on the side of it, just under the tail. She's not going to show us because she wants to clamp her tail down. But we're pushing in and up just underneath that tail. And you can feel kind of like, it feels like a rope. And I can feel hers right there. It's not too bad, but you can feel that it's kind of tight and stringy. So I'm just going to massage it with my fingers. Just kind of wait for her to release. She actually kind of likes it. Release this side. Does anybody want to put their hand up here and feel it? Yeah, actually. She's behaving pretty well, so. You feel like a string in there? Yeah. If you push kind of in and up. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. It feels like a string. The rope. Yeah, it feels like a little rope. Yeah. That's what you're massaging. I thought, yeah.
Dan vinden ze dat met een kwikapparaat heerlijk en andersom.
Ja.
Kijk, dat is heel vaak. Degene die hele zachte werken.
Kunnen ze niet alle paarden mee omgaan.
Nee, die kunnen soms echt helemaal.
Ik vind dit al heel knap hoor, dat ze dit goed staat nu al.
hij doet ook niet pijn, hè? Die massage, dit doet niet pijn. Het lijkt een hele machine, maar dit is echt heel zacht.
Way better. Way better. Let's see if she'll let me work the other side.
En dan bleven ze bij de